Welcome to the General's Gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to Company of Heroes 2. We are casting some hypey hype games from the GCS.
Hype indeed. Talisman will be spawning in as our Soviets.
And Luvnest will be the Wehrmacht. So this is the first time we've casted Company of Heroes 2 that now I am back in Australia. The last two games were done in America. And I know today you actually, it was last night you posted.
Yeah, I posted the last America game because we're now casting actual games. So yeah, I can get rid of the extra backlog. But stretching content. But now you're back and we can do as much as we damn well please in terms of shoutcasting. There are no limits on us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Callum's pushing me towards like a 14-hour work day. It's really hurting. Send help.
By the way, big shout out here to AE, because basically every tournament I get really mad because the replays aren't posted. And now with the website, the gcs.org, there's all of the replays are posted on the bracket, so it's really easy to look at the series and get the replays from that and cast them. It's a really nice looking website. I haven't exactly been following the GCS, and I generally don't follow these tournaments because I want to cast the replays myself. So I don't want to get like spoiled.
Yeah.
But I do hear hype things are happening. And we're going to find out today because we have a great series, Talisman versus Luvnest, two top players.
Indeed, you're right. So we'll jump into it. Nothing too interesting thus far as our players have gone for opposing fuel points. Which always leads to a slower early game. I think it makes the most sense for Talisman because he just wants sandbags up on these conscripts and doesn't want to take early engagements. I think having conscripts free in the early game is really nice to put up sandbags because they're so hard to clear.
Yeah, there's some positions on this map where sandbags are really good. If you get sandbags on either of these VPs, the sides in particular, the middle, even the middle as well. So really all the VPs, because they're pretty open, at least on the actual capping circle themselves. And same with the munitions point, the fuel points, there isn't particularly good cover locations there by default. So that is one of the strengths of going for conscript spam as opposed to, say, grenadier spam, is that you can build sandbags, which makes a big difference. I'm just so glad now that pioneers can build sandbags, because for the longest time they couldn't.
And it was very sad for everyone.
It's like, hey, you don't need sandbags because you have bunkers, because those are great. People build bunkers all the time.
Problem is they weren't cancelable. That's why no one went for them. So, well, I guess that's trenches, but close enough. We'll roll with it. Nice conscript flank. I love a good conscript flank, and that's what we're seeing here from Talisman. He gets an excellent angle into those. The first squad of grenadiers and early Molotov tech. I love it. Will win him the second engagement. Fantastic. Good. 4 con molly. I love it. These are the good days of Company of Heroes too. So
yeah, the Molotov upgrade certainly cheaper now, so we are seeing Molotovs. Whoa, we're also seeing Flamers too. Yeah, good evac there, but takes a fair bit of damage from that one. He's going to suffer from that until he gets medics, which he is already getting. Yeah, I mean, both of his squads have taken a fair bit of health damage, even his engineer as well.
It's pretty good timing as well. 4 con molly straight into medics. That's really good. So well played, Talisman. He's going to have those online by the time his squads get back to base. They will reinforce heal up and be back and available again. Okay, Luvnest is taking a forward position, but there are still cons in the area, so pioneers won't be able to go for some cheeky mines. They'll probably force up another conscript squad and get really nice position with this MG42 as well.
I like how he didn't just go for the heavy cover there, which is what you would intuitively think. Because there was the Flamer or the Pioneers, it wouldn't have actually done any good. But what it's done now, it's stalled him a lot of time. It means he won't lose the cutoff here. Engineer's going to take the position now, but got to be careful of the MG. That is setting up. There is heavy cover here, however, so if the conscripts can get there, they should be able to fight it out. Otherwise, just flank the MG. Didn't retarget.
Yeah, the retarget doesn't come through, but there is suppression onto these two squads, so maybe Luvnest doesn't want it. Maybe the Pioneer Flame is just going to get more work done, because the suppression's already come through. So the Pioneer has forced off the combat engineers, and they're going to force off the second squad and win that engagement as well. So this is great for Luvnest. He's playing this really well by not retargeting with the MG42. There we go. One of the conscript squads forced off, and the second one, this is a potential wipe.
Oh, wow. Takes a bit of damage there. Does lose it to the MG. Yikes. Yeah. So he actually, the cooldown came off for the Molotov there, but he was out of munitions. Had he been able to afford that, the MG would have had to retreat, and that could have gone very differently. Not losing the this conscript there, of course, if the MG retreated. So now Talisman's in a bit of a tricky spot here. He's down a squad. He's gone for his tier 2. And not having access to this munitions point is going to cripple him, because you really want to have access to a lot of Molotovs, and especially now that the Ura costs more. It's 15 munitions. So, you know, there was a time when playing Soviets, you just had unlimited munitions, but it's sort of not quite the case anymore.
Yeah, so Luvnest pulls back to base to heal up. There were S-mines on the cutoff now, so they're going to have to be cleared. There are a few of them. I'm not sure how many the Pioneers managed to get done, but a decent amount. And the engagement was interesting because any other player, you'd think it was like a noob because they didn't retarget with the MG42, but Luvnest played out of his mind. He kept as much percentage suppression on the conscripts and combat engineers as possible to make sure the Pioneers forced off both squads, and he won the engagement, knowing he had a backup Ren squad to cover the MG42. It was actually, it was beautiful micro and really hard for Talisman to deal with.
Good rifle grenade dodge. So there should be more conscripts coming from the base shortly. Going for a Maxim now. That's going to help him hold this middle position. This Flamer is doing so much damage. Both of those Grenadiers were taking damage there from that Flamer volley. Looks like he will be able to hold the line here, though he did lose the cutoff.
One of those Grenadier squads wasn't focusing down the combat engineers, which was a mistake because the combat engineers were doing way more damage than the conscripts were. So it's an odd choice for sure. And when both squads are together, you probably could have hidden the rifle grenade animation a little bit better, but Talisman does well in forcing Luvnest off the map, and we have our first 2-2 for the game.
So that's been buffed in the latest patch. It's cheaper now, bit better MG accuracy. It's a tripwire, I suppose, yeah. So how's he going to deal with this? He has the tier 2 for the Zis gun, doesn't have any manpower. AT grenades, he doesn't have the manpower, well, the manpower for the upgrade, but I mean, he doesn't have the munitions anyway. And this is a really open map, so it's not a good map for trying to use AT grenades.
I think it's
Ooh,
got
good volley.
Yeah, nice volley. Yeah, not quite willing for the conscripts to jump into the garrison and look for the wipe, but yeah, nice volley. I think it has to be Zisgun here. Zisgun will also allow him to clear the S-mines on his cutoff. They're not really like crucially important because they're not on a pathing route when it comes to retreats, but you know, Zis at some point would be good. I mean, okay, he's got a tier 3, so it's going to be, I guess it's a T70 instead, which is also okay. It will probably cost him a bit in terms of VPs, but it could work out.
Well, the T70 is going to give him a lot of pressure, both against the Grenadiers and the Scout car. I think he's going to lose the VPs either way here. I mean, the Maxim's going to be really important. It also will give him a bit of soft damage against the 2-2 if he sticks around in that firing arc. Here's a triple cap on at the moment. Rifle nade coming through the side. Good dodge, though. Even though it was a Maxim, was still able to dodge that rifle grenade. He must have seen that one coming for some time.
I feel like these are really unnecessary engagements for Luvnest to take. Like, he could have just gotten another squad instead of looking for manpower bleed. Doesn't have to engage his Maxim.
Yeah, if he was able to get the cutoff, then he could have stopped this T70 coming, but maybe he should have just gone for the fuel point instead.
Yeah.
To delay that T70. But so this is the bait. It's the, look, run away from me. I have AT grenades, but he actually doesn't. Oh no, retreats anyway. They didn't quite get the completion of that capture.
T70 build is starting now, right on fuel for Talisman, and it's going to have to get work done. It can't go down here. Are there any tellers down from Luvnest? I mean, I doubt it because we have double MG42, but maybe there's one? I think there's room for one in his munitions count, maybe. Maybe at the top. I don't know. I guess he went for the S-mines as well, so that would probably account for the disparity, but you know, double MG42, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, there's been some rifle grenades too.
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
So it doesn't look like there has been. And the Flame has been pretty active as well on the Pioneers, so he hasn't exactly had much idle Pioneer time. And it's a good map for Tellers, but the aggressive play from Luvnest has certainly been working in his favor thus far. Luvnest must not be too far off his own tank. Doesn't have the battle phase 2 just yet, but he's doing pretty well in terms of the VPs and just the overall map control.
Luvnest is actually going to go pack here as well, as a counter to the yet unseen T70. Now seen T70. Gren's are going to have to run. They're in a really bad
Yeah,
spot. That's a nice T70 angle.
He could get a wipe there if he's not lucky. But gets the cap. He's able to soft retreat from that one.
Taking the garrison is smart. It's probably going to delay a bit more T70 time. So it's kind of weird. I think he could have taken that engagement against the conscripts, even with them in heavy cover with the MG42, but they just back away. I guess no more manpower bleed down to the T70. It's fair.
Yeah, you don't want to hang around with the T70 on the chase. Well, I guess a lot of long-range shots there with the T70. 222, pretty low, but the pack should be on the field now. Yeah, that's going to be on the field. The middle VP is captured back by Talisman now, and bear in mind, Talisman has the radio intercept, so he knows there is a pack on the field. He has it in the recon mode. Oh no, he doesn't. Yeah, I'm just confused by the icon. Yeah. That's being repaired up to full health now. Talisman has a few options. I mean, he may want to go for a mortar because he's got a fair bit of extra manpower, and he doesn't really need anything crucially. Though he may want to get a Zis gun given the advantage of fuel that Luvnest has had.
Luvnest yet to invest the fuel as well, was actually holding on to it. Definitely could have gone for the tier 3. Hasn't done yet. But the rifle nade dodges have been on point so far this game. I love high tier games. They're my favorite.
Yeah, these flamers have also been pretty on point. Almost vet 3 now with the engineers. It's going to give those engineers more combat capabilities and repairing capabilities as well. So the SU-76 is an option. Of course, that one's been nerfed. Oh,
that was yeah. Talisman definitely misclicked that. I'm sure that was a Molotov, but he just misclicked it. He didn't select Molotov, so the conscripts just ran in. I'm guessing, because I reckon he went to throw the Molotov and actually clicked on the cover and he tried to vault it or something like that. Yeah. There are a few things he could have done there.
Accidental vaults are the worst thing in the world. So it is another Maxim. So he just wants to try and hold more territory. Right now he is struggling to actually hold the territory, and the Maxim's going to allow him to do that. Talisman, Luvnest must be battle phase 2. Yeah, going to that one now. Keeping an eye on the fuel.
I'm guessing Panzer IV kind of makes the most sense to me. Especially if, I mean, there's going to be one Zis gun on the field and AT grenades. I doubt a second from Talisman's. The people will be able to pressure the Maxims back. And that's kind of what Luvnest is lacking at the moment, a way to force off Maxims.
Well, there must have been a con wipe at some point, because it's only down to 3 conscripts. Maybe it was the S-mines on retreat.
Did he rebuild for a 4th? He lost one right at the start of the game. Like, do you mean that one, or?
Oh, that's right. I didn't mind. Yeah. My bad.
He had a 4-con build, but yeah, lost one on the that one.
I just saw S-mines and dead conscripts, and I was like, oh, what happened here?
Look, that's a logical train of thought. Machine. I can't give you any heat for that.
Oh, Pact is doing some shots against the T-70. Late to respond. Could lose this one. Took some damage there from the scout car as well. Only 2 Pact shots, but the scout car must have made the difference there. Loses the T-70. A crucial blow, especially with Luvnest almost at his medium tanks.
Really nice position there from Luvnest. I'm pretty sure the pack was outside of combat engineer vision range, so the angle it found was really nice. Yeah, big fan. You can see as well, the way the arc worked, if the T-70 wanted to back out of the arc, it would have had to rotate on the spot. If it just went straight backwards, it would have stayed on the edge of the pack arc, which is another cool factor. Regardless, well positioned.
Yeah, it was very aggressive pack placement, and often that's the only way you can kill those T-70s, but certainly inattentive was Talisman there. He left it idle for some time, but either way, Talisman going for the Zis gun. His Maxim's just getting flanked. That's the real weakness of lacking this T-70 now, is had he the T-70, the scout car wouldn't have any business diving Maxims.
Is this fake AT grenades? Oh no, it's
real
AT
ones
grenades.
time. Oh man, he's gonna have to retreat that one. I mean, he can merge it, but it's not really gonna be worth it.
Nah, I don't think so. You might as well keep the cons on the field. The Maxim isn't gonna be doing much. I think the Maxim's just gonna try and find a try and force off one of these grenadier squads before it retreats. Of course, the Maxim just as good with only one guy holding the gun and doesn't need all 5 models for moral support. Oh no!
Negative cover, feels bad, man. Well, let's see if he gets a good volley off.
He could do. This might be.
I think he actually dropped the gunner.
Oh really?
Yeah,
okay,
which is why he didn't fire. But he also got out of negative cover, so that.
Now, keeping this 2-model Maxim around is actually going to be really beneficial. Gets the Pioneers down. This means second Maxim retargets the Grens. I'm pretty sure it's rifle grenade range.
Suppression came through the last minute. He is crawling forwards to get that rifle grenade, though. It's going to be a nasty one if he lands it.
I think the pin will come through in time.
This one guy won't get killed by the rifle grenade.
Oh, no. Pin doesn't come through.
That's suppression. Feels bad, man. There it is.
Yeah, nice. Good. I was wondering if the pin would or wouldn't come through, but it's a negative. The rifle nade gets off. No Gren models drop that whole time as well. So
yeah, I feel like the grenade range when suppressed is too high. Like I'm fine with it taking that long to pin things, but because I think it's the grenade suppression range is about
it's like 33% or something like that. So
yeah, it is reduced a lot, but if it's something like 10%, because even with other squads like riflemen, you can do that where you know MG34 starts firing at you, but you just crawl up to it, nade it, and one shot at wipe anyway. Because whether or not the grenade goes off basically can determine if you insta-wipe the MG, steal the MG, and then win the game.
What was even worse was rifleman nade smoke into rifle grenade.
Yeah.
A rifleman grenade. Whereas even if you had full vision with the MG42, you would still lose it. Like,
yeah.
Feels bad, man. There's the Panzer IV from Luvnest. It's a little bit late. I'm guessing through reinforcement. I don't see any new squads up there on the books. I don't know. We added that Pioneer with Sweeper in, but I think it was a little while ago.
Yeah, he's been playing very aggressively, and it's been working because he has been retaining the VPs. So just prioritizing his combat forces, keeping them replenished. We see he has 4 Grenadiers, 2 Pios, an MG, and a pack. So keeping those guys up at full health is costly. Now the P4's arrived, and Talisman's gonna have an even harder time. Good long range shot there from the Zis, however.
Yeah, good one, good one.
So Talisman may just go straight for the IS-2. I don't see him going for the tier 4 at this point, and he will have that call-in at 13 command points. This commander being a little bit weaker now due to the nerfs to the IL-2.
Yeah, big nerf as well. Big warranted nerf, to be clear. So
yeah, they were obnoxious. Those planes would just wipe squads all the time, even if you instantly retreated.
Man, look at this. Extra AT grenade range. I only have the Molotov one. Talisman balling out with the bulletins. Feels bad, man.
Oh, wow. So even despite having that suppression bulletin, the Maxim still failed earlier to get the suppression off. Looks like...
Got to run 3 of them.
Yeah, Talisman will lose his right side now. Luvnest having locked in the spearhead. So he's got a few things he can go for here. The mortar half-track would be great versus these Maxims and the Zis gun. The recon would be quite useful, especially if he goes tier 4 for, say, a Werfer or a Brumbar. Zis barrage comes through, doesn't quite secure the wipe, however the conscripts may.
Yeah, I don't think it was a retarget. Yeah, no, they're fine. The MG42 manages to get out of it. What's that Panzer IV doing? Is it going to start putting some pressure on? I'm surprised that it hasn't yet. There's only 1 Zis gun out on the field for Talisman. I don't know if Luvnest is expecting more, like a second one, or he's just happy. Maybe he's just happy setting on double. You wouldn't believe it, but I think maybe Luvnest is happy sitting on double fuel, double VP. Like
yeah, only single munitions point though.
Yeah, he could double up on that one. So.
But yeah, he doesn't want to throw the game by having the P4 too deep, I suppose. Sending it forward now. He's going to get some damage off towards his infantry. Once again, though, that Flamer has just done so much damage to these Grens behind the heavy cover. Good dodge.
Talisman forced into a second Zis. I mean, like, Luvnest isn't even using the P4, but Talisman is still forced into a second Zis. There's no other option, really. It's about 50 pop cap. I think the IS-2 is the next port of call.
Well, it's actually in mine there. It is revealed, however, by the sweeper. So it is the battle phase 3. Luvnest looking towards the tier 4, and I think that's a great choice here. Double Maxim, double Zis. A Panzerwerfer would be very powerful.
Yeah, and you want Panther over Tiger, I think, when it comes to dealing with the IS-2, so... Do you reckon you'd want new Panther over Tiger?
Oh yeah, it has been changed, hasn't it?
Yeah, it got armor nerfs.
I don't know.
I don't think the IS-2 really struggles to penetrate. Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember the penetration play with IS-2 Panther, and whether those armor changes will have like a big effect on that.
I think you would want a Tiger though, just because you can hold a VP easier.
Yeah.
It's just going to blow up conscripts
It'd have to be
in
Tiger,
a way
I
that the
think.
Panther won't blow up conscripts.
So maybe Panzerwerfer into Tiger here for Talisman is going to be the play.
Yeah, and why else would he have locked in the command? I guess the frag is actually really good too versus the Zis guns. The Zis killer, as we like to call it. That was triggered a mine somewhere.
Has smoke too, so that's
true.
a bonus.
That's really strong.
Didn't get to see them all to half track. They were kind of standardized, so that would have been cool. But you never know. The game is still young. 20 minutes in. Okay, 2 VPs now held by Talisman, but he's been bleeding. 197 for him compared to the 470 of Luvnest in a fantastic victory point situation.
And he's absolutely starved of munitions. He has been using them quite actively though. There's this barrage, the Molotovs, even mines as well. So it's good to see. But he's certainly going to be struggling with that. Oh, the frag bomb comes through well. Absolutely murders that Maxim. He doesn't get any Zis guns. But I don't know what he's actually aiming for, but the Maxim goes down, so great use of that fragmentation bomb. Maybe going for a munitions cache wouldn't be a bad idea. Because he's got plenty of uses for it, both the recon and the frag.
Yeah, it could be good. Doesn't really need to... He's going to need the manpower for the Tiger anytime soon, so... It doesn't really want to fill out his pop cap, so yeah, I can see Caitious working. I can see Caitious working for Talisman as well.
Ooh, IS-2.
Yeah, it's on the field, so this Panzerwerfer won't actually have a lot of time to play. Clairvoyant Callum coming in big. It is indeed the Panzerwerfer, so yeah.
Sick alliteration, bruh.
Thanks, mate.
Blake back at it again. My boy.
So where's this? Where's it gonna go? I like that the frag wiped the Maxim because, I mean, out of all of the support weapons, the Maxim is kind of the one you just set and forget somewhere. And so wiping it with a frag instead of wasting a Panzerwerfer barrage on it kind of makes sense. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Wow,
maybe
lucky shot. The IS-2 misses 9 out of 10, not 9 out of 10 times. So for the IS-2 to actually be hitting things. So that's just a recon.
He's looking for his disc gun, I think, for the Panzerwerfer.
Yeah, he's got it.
So, yeah.
Must be firing that one.
He's got the angle.
Maybe?
It's pretty max range. Like, if it gets much closer, it's at risk of going down to the IS-2. I don't know. Maybe he's waiting for a better barrage. I think the best play here is to reinforce the pack and then bait the IS-2 into dueling with the Panzer IV. And when the Zis guns move up to support it, then you Panzerwerfer the Zis guns and you get a wipe. Because Talisman's going to be busy microing this Highest too.
Oh, no, he's going to get Fausted.
That should be a Faust.
Yeah, a little bit too early though. Didn't get the damage engine. This gun's also within firing range of the Panzer IV. He's actually rotating the Werfer to the right side.
Yeah, he's going to take out one of these Maxims. I think that's a valid use.
The sector has been cut off.
Well, he has a veterinary engineer and another engineer squad, so we can repair that somewhat fast.
Stug's going to be finished off here soon as well. Luvnest deciding he doesn't want to go all the way to Tiger, which is, I think, a valid play style. Like, you can deal with an IS-2 with Panzer IV Stug pack. And it's just more opportunity to drop Talisman's VPs while he's in serious resource trouble. That would be a nice Werfer barrage, but the recon's on cooldown for Luvnest.
Yeah, that, and also his clearly advanced warfare. Well, what's it called? It's armored assault tactics rather.
Yeah.
And so T-34-85s are most likely going to be the next strategy here by Talisman. So having this dude is always going to be useful in that regard.
And I almost forgot about radio intercept as well. So remember that Talisman knows about the Werfer.
Yeah,
which I forgot about. So there's not actually. Yeah, while it's good to hold on to this barrage, he's not holding onto it because Luvnest doesn't. Sorry, he's not holding onto it because Talisman doesn't know about it. He's just holding onto it. So
he is firing now. Yeah, this gun's gonna get taken out here.
Yeah, it's gonna get murdered. Good barrage. Okay, that's it's almost in a.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. That's surprising. Luvnest is gonna blow it up.
Yeah, really nice positioning there with the pack. Takes that one out immediately. No chance for a recap.
Okay, that's very quick decision making by Luvnest. Decides he definitely doesn't want the cap. Just takes out. I was gonna say that's almost in range where Talisman would want to have to think about destroying the Zis gun to make sure it doesn't go over to Luvnest. But Luvnest doesn't want your filthy Zis gun. He has packs. They work better.
Yeah, and he's pop cap too.
Yeah. He's 84, and eventually wants to get the Tiger. So just staying on what he's got now makes sense.
Probably
With some reinforcing to do.
run the risk of just getting wiped by the IS-2 if he went for that as well. So I think that was the right play to make. Talisman building another Zis gun, so that's always had to do. I'm sure he wants an SU-85, but just not having the fuel to make that an option.
Just reconned again. That's kind of weird. Just getting some positional ideas when it comes to support weapons, but the Panzerwerfer barrage should still be on cooldown. Yeah, it's like halfway done. It's kind of weird. He's not using him. He's not using in synergy with the Werfer.
Well, he may just want to try and work out where to position his forces. He's got a fair bit of stuff at base. He sees everything's on the left side, so he can neglect the right side for now. I do love how there's actually a bunker here. That's going to make defending that one much easier. Does
actually decide to push up with this spare squad on the right-hand side and cabin at the strap point, thanks to the recon, so that's good play. Can actually start putting some pressure towards the cutoff and potentially pull back at Maxim. Luvnest decides to go for that, and every strap point as well that he caps on this right-hand side, Luvnest that is, it's harder for Talisman to regain that position because it means he has to waste squad time capping every single point on the way back, and he can't just go for the fuel.
Oh my god! Wow, loses the Zis gun once again.
Does Talisman forget that you can't dodge Werfer barrages, or?
Gotta be careful of the mine.
I'm pretty sure this Zis gun doesn't. I'm pretty sure this one survives though. I don't know if. Oh no, okay, Luvnest is gonna go for it. He doesn't have the the recon available, so.
You gonna say that again to
no,
the pack?
I'm not. He looks angry. He looks angry, Callum. I'm not gonna say anything to this pack gun.
I love that decal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess taken out immediately.
Wow.
Jeez.
The pack accuracy though, like that's 100% hit rate against Zis guns at max range. Like it's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm guessing they have a pretty high target size. A lot of those
you tend to miss. Like you take that AT guns with AT guns before. Like they tend to miss at least one shot.
Well, I think this is going to be a very slow and gradual death of Talisman.
Yeah, I don't see him coming back into this one. I don't think there's anything he can do, really.
It's at the point now where Luvnest can pretty much afford another Tiger, or a Tiger. So even if Luvnest loses a bunch of stuff, it just doesn't matter. He just calls in a Tiger.
And then bleeds the rest of the 77 VP. So,
yeah.
Yeah. He's played this very well. And it just, again, like, Company Fury still a lot of time comes down to, like, abusing your opponent's mistakes, and Luvnest hasn't made mistakes. There are still 4 Vet 3 squads of Grens with LMGs active. Yeah, I guess one's Vet 2, but you get the idea.
It's been a flawless game.
Yeah.
The scout car's still alive. Yeah, and that's going to allow him to get better recon for his Panzerwerfer. So having that alive can be very useful.
Just needs a little bit more veterancy. So sending it down to the right-hand side VP, which he's actually doing right now, is nice. One's that veterancy 3, but is this on the retreat path? That would be sick. It is on the retreat path. Damn, he mistimes that just a little bit. That's close though. Nice attempt. Yeah.
You got a good shot there on the Grenadiers. So he went for a T-70, did Talisman, a little bit of a desperation move. It will allow him to get the right side VP, assuming that none of these tanks rotate.
Yeah.
He needs to send a Zis gun there, perhaps.
I guess deciding that he doesn't have time for an SU-76, which would be better here, but...
You mean SU-85?
No, I mean SU-76.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, does he have the... Yeah, I guess.
Oh, he doesn't have T4, does he?
Doesn't have T4.
Oh, of
like, yeah, I was gonna...
Forgot about that.
I'm like, have they changed the tiers on me again? I'd like...
Dude, they...
Hands up if you'd like a tier 3 SU-85. Right here.
The Soviet tiers change every 6 months. You never know.
That would be fun.
I mean,
a great time. So.
Do you remember the tier 1 Jagdpanzer 4? They used to be in the battle group. So it used to cost you less fuel to get than an SU-85, despite having all these like broken veterancy bonuses when OKW first launched. Man, this IS-2 has done well. I mean, it obviously hasn't done enough for reasons outside of the IS-2's control, but it's been hitting things a lot more reliably than what you'd normally see at the IS-2, and I have been enjoying this muchly.
Much.
Okay, IS-2 diving the Stug. There's a big rate of fire nerf to that Stug in the previous patch. He's staying here at max range. I don't know about that.
He's up against the Panzer 4 as well, so this gonna have to back off. Gets a little bit of poke off, but it's not as if Luvnest is down in terms of repairing squads. Not really a big deal. That would make sense if Luvnest didn't have any pioneers, but he does.
His crew repair does Talisman as
Yeah,
well.
Talisman will be able to heal up this IS-2 and have one more play at the VPs, but yeah, it's probably about it.
There's gonna be another frag bomb available soon too, and I must have missed this most recent Werfer barrage. Still has the bunker on the right.
So there's this gun here from Talisman, so just going into desperation mode, trying to hold 2 VPs. Panzer IV has move it to easily force off conscript squads. This gun will be done in time, which is nice. Good to see Talisman having at least one more throw of the dice. Maybe get some good RNG on a dive. If you can take out the Stug and the Werfer, but he still has to keep the IS-2 alive. That's the thing. You can't just dive in and lose it. So low on resources. The IS-2 has to survive.
Trying to repair it as fast as he can.
Yep.
Maybe the crew repair would have made the difference there. And that's frag coming down on the Zis gun. Let's see if he can dodge it. Good dodge sideways.
Blows up the mine as well. It's
Yeah.
unfortunate. Good dodge. Good dodge.
Yeah, if you dodge forwards or backwards, you're gonna have a bad time. Dodge sideways, then you'll be okay.
Werfer barrage again. I reckon they're maxim.
Or both. Por qué los dos? No, just the Zis gun, okay. If it was a caddy, you get both.
You're getting better at that, you know. These Zis guns have had a bad time. The Werfer has been wrecking them. What a great build.
Yeah. There seems to be a common theme. Like every Luvnest game on Crossing the Woods is kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Is really solid, consistent game. Make no mistakes. Win late game with Panzerwerfer.
Yeah.
Someone throws away lots of Zis guns. This pattern, I've seen it before. Has Vet 2 now on the ice too, but shall not matter.
Stug wants back away now. Yeah, smokes off. Good timing. We'll avoid the next Zis gun shot. That's the thing. Another good smoke timing. When you have two things firing at it, you can't attack ground with both of them and have enough time.
Ooh.
Like that's like so hard to do micro-wise. IS-2 takes a damage engine. Oh, Pack has another shot off, but it does miss.
He's almost
Pretty
Vet 3 now
dangerous.
on that pack. That's really it's kind of rare you actually see that because generally AT guns get wiped and recrewed rather often. Ooh.
Nice scatter.
Enemy can
Pack will survive.
It's gonna be the GG there. So.
Yeah.
Game 1, Talisman didn't quite have the comeback that we were, I guess, hoping for.
It's the attempt that counts. He's done well, so that's GG, and we'll get to move on to the second game, see if we can do any better.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for watching. We will return with the rest of the series. Hopefully you enjoyed the cast, and if you did, then you can support us on Patreon. The link is in the description.
Thank you.